Hello, Lars here. So I want to talk about some digital drawing caveats, if that's the right word, like downsides, but I also want to talk about some upsides. So I've been having some computer issues, and it's not that bad. I mean, I'll get it fixed eventually. But the thing I wanted to talk about particularly here is some things I learned about dealing with a digital drawing tablet through the years. I've been using one since 2021, but I also do a lot of traditional work. And pretty much a lot of people in the comments have mentioned time and time again about why I don't share a lot of the stuff I do. That's actually funny because the stuff that I save is traditional, and I will be sharing that soon. I'm trying to think of the best way to share that. But let me talk about this real quick. Okay, a lot of people, they don't need it. You can probably get away with traditional. I mean, the funny thing is I actually have another board right here. It's kind of like it's like a smaller desk. I mean, it's just a ground one, so I could sit at it and use it. Where I'm at, I'm above a garage, so it gets pretty cold. So it's kind of nice to kind of be on the floor sometimes. I know that sounds weird, but like the duct is below here, so it does kind of warm it up a bit. But the point I'm trying to get at here is that digital drawing has a lot of quirks to it, and if you're not like tech savvy in any way, it could be incredibly frustrating, especially when you have computer issues. And there's a lot of different computer issues that one could have. So one, you just saw that I removed a cover, and basically that cover prevents dust from accumulating on the visible drawing area. More often than not, when you buy a digital drawing tablet, you kind of need to be aware of the active space. When I say active space, I mean like it may be 24 inches, but in reality, it's like, I think it's like 21 by maybe 11 something. It's a lot of area. And if you want to draw with your shoulder and not your wrist, I feel like you need a larger one. Because originally I had I think I had a 13-inch Wacom tablet, and it actually ended up having like a technical issue, and it would never turn on. And luckily, I had insurance on it, so I paid for insurance for it for like 2 years. And luckily, like at it 23 months it went, and I think it was like something Square. Was it Square Trade? I can't remember it, but I did pay for insurance for this one too. I haven't had issues with it, but I will say that you have to be cautious of that. People mention dead pixels. I think I had like one little tiny dead pixel in here, but eventually it came back on, so I don't understand why. But yeah, it's good, but like the thing is, it's kind of weird because you have to, the larger one, so you could draw with your shoulder and not your wrist. And it's kind of like, it's kind of frustrating because whenever you get this, no one really tells you what you need up front. One, I say you need a desk. Like I have a sit-stand IKEA Skarsta desk, and it's like you need that. You have to make sure your desk can support the weight, because I think this thing is like maybe 30 something pounds. It's really heavy. You also have to get used to the drawing angle. You also have to get a computer with a good amount of RAM. So the problem here is that if you don't have a computer with a good amount of RAM, depending on the program you're using, it could like go slow. Another thing that I wanted to mention is when I do draw, pretty much I do it all for practice, because I think one of the best things about digital drawing is iterative practice, in which you could quickly just delete everything you drew if you're trying to do like sheer amount of practice. And you could do the same thing with paper, but I feel like with paper, you kind of have to like really change the areas where you draw on the paper. I mean, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm probably just being picky here, but to be honest, I kind of like traditional drawing a little more. But with this, you also like pretty much you need a drawing glove. That's so you can, I think this is a Huon drawing glove. Wacom doesn't make any drawing gloves at the time, I believe, but you need that so your hand can kind of glide on the screen. The other thing is the pen. I mean, it comes with it, but I will say this, right? The nibs. It takes a couple months for me to wear through them, but eventually they will come to a sharp point. And I will say that this tablet, I think I had to pay a little more for the special coating or whatever. Like, they had two versions, one with a special coating that was like scratch resistant. And the idea is the more you use the nibs, and just to tell you, it comes with like a pen rest, and the pen rest actually comes apart, and it has more replacement nibs in it. But the thing is, you go through them fast, so I always recommend you buy a couple more. And like, buy more than you need, because I feel like you're just always going to go through them. I also have a vinyl record cleaner that I use to clean the dust off of it when I need to. Pretty much I clean dust off it all the time, even when I'm using it. If you have a dusty room or whatever, you'll eventually see dust on it. And I don't recommend using your hands, but so yeah, use one of these. It's like a microfiber cloth to get the dirt off. So yeah, I will say the one thing I've realized is if you have like a newer computer and you're updating it all the time, you will eventually run into weird issues in which something will go wrong. Like, I think it has to do with like Windows Ink. Don't quote me on that, but like the operating system will want to update, and then it'll throw the drivers out of whack for Windows Ink, and then something will, then like you won't be able to use the drawing tablet, or it won't connect, and it's a game. I mean, sometimes I've seen myself fight with the driver, fight with the operating system. More often than not, if Wacom wants you to update the driver, do it right away. Like, I don't know if it's, I don't know why, but many times I've put off the update all for the drawing tablet to like stop working altogether, and I'm like, oh, what's going on here? I have no idea. And I would have to fight with it, uninstall, reinstall drivers, go through that whole thing, reboot. Sometimes I would have to do like a hard reboot, literally unplug everything from the wall, check all the cords. Yeah, it can be really frustrating working with digital sometimes if your idea is that you're going to turn it on and you're just going to start drawing right away. Like, I will say probably 9 times out of 10 I have no issues, but that one time, like, I'm going to waste a half hour to an hour trying to fix the issues. So yeah, dealing with the computer, there are a lot of benefits to it, but I have realized other issues with trying to work with software. I used a pretty lightweight software because my computer didn't have a lot of RAM, and I've seen that it could cause slowness. The other thing I want to mention is maybe it's better for you not to use stabilizers. Like, when I wanted to do practice, I would turn off like smoothers and stabilizers so I could actually practice. The last thing I wanted to say was I got one of these cubes. There's a YouTube channel called Chromamoma, and he had a video and he mentioned this. I recommend it because it's simple. Well, I have to put it down. It's simple, but basically it's just a timer. And the reason why I like it over using my phone, just because if I have an issue with my phone, I know I could just use this right away. This charges as well. It's also not distracting. Like, everything on your phone is trying to distract you. If you know anything about phones these days, they have push notifications, all those other notifications, people texting you. It's too distracting. Keep your phone away from your desk if you're trying to do drawing practice. And I recommend one of these cubes so you can really put in good focused practice sessions. But yeah, if I had to think of anything else, having digital drawing just around you in the event something's wrong with the digital, or maybe you're just a bit sick of working with digital and you want to do something more traditional, I do recommend, paper's cheap, traditional tools are cheaper. This thing costed a lot. Like, I say, it wasn't until I got like a professional day job that I decided to even save up for a long time to get this. You don't want it impacting your finances. Like, I will say this is probably the most expensive thing I ever bought. So it's one of those things that it's really great when it works, and it works almost all the time. I never really have issues with it, but it can be hard finding the issues that are occurring if you're having any. But yeah, I hope this video helps you. Yeah, pretty much I just use digital art for practice, not really saving anything. I mean, more often than not, I don't. I just delete stuff. My whole idea was to get a lot of practice in. And I feel like when I share stuff, I like to like have a physical thing. I don't know why. Like, I mean, when you do that, I use acid-free paper, but I know that's a tangent. But yeah, digital art can be good. There are a lot of people probably more professional than me can give you better reasons why um, digital art has its benefits. I mean, I definitely do see them. Creates no mess at all. The other thing I will say, I got myself a pair of blue light blocking glasses just to save my eyes. Some computers have that blue light thing built in to kind of help your eyes, but the tablet, I don't believe it does. So I have these to kind of protect my eyes. But you know, getting eye strain, that still does happen no matter how I draw. But I've noticed with digital, that kind of happens more. Probably because the screen is backlit. Like compared to like paper, the paper that you use, usually have to have like some other type of light. If I was gonna show the light, I have like okay, it's not plugged in, but I have like one of those 5500K bulbs for drawing traditionally. And yeah, you need that compared to the tablet in which it's backlit, so you could see where you're drawing and it's lit up and you don't really need an extra light. So yeah, I hope this helps you. I'll be sharing more stuff soon. I know it's kind of weird, this format. I've been trying to think of a better way to record videos for traditional art, because that's really what I want to focus on. I mean, I still do traditional when I can, and probably I will do more once I get everything fixed. But yeah, that's all I wanted to share today. Thanks for listening. If you like my channel, please subscribe. Bye.